I know you all have worked very hard to ace this CDS examination. But if I tell you that this is still not enough to crack this examination, I myself have cleared this examination 5 times in a row. So I know what is actually needed to crack this examination. Stay with me in this video till the end and I will definitely guarantee you that you can score 140 plus marks in CDS examination. Yes my friend, 140 plus marks. So let's begin by solving 2023 second CDS examination paper live with me, and we can see what are the common things that UPSC tends to ask and what common mistakes we make in examination that led us to failure ultimately. Look at this question number 2 here. It says consider a journey by a car represented by the graph given below in 3 parts. So there are 3 cars A, B and C. The speed of car A, B and C can be seen from this distance and time graph. So they are asking to compare the velocity of all the 3 cars. We see that B has maximum slope followed by A, and C has very much flat slope. So by going through the common sense, B should have maximum velocity followed by A and in the end C, hence answer B. Look how simple it was. Now moving on to question number 4. If moon is brought closer to the earth and distance between earth and moon becomes half, then what will the effect on the gravitational force? As we know, force is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. Here we can see force is inversely proportional to the distance. Therefore force is equal to 1 by 2 whole square is equal to 4 times. Solving it, therefore it will increase to 4 times the original value. Then coming to question number 5. Sonic boom is produced when a source of sound travels at a speed. As all the defense aspirants are well aware of the fighter jets and their capabilities. So when a fighter jet flies over our head, they tend to create sonic boom, and this is a situation in which the speed of the object is much greater than the speed of the sound. Therefore sonic boom is created when the speed is greater than the sound. Now moving on to question number 7. How much percentage of carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere of Venus and Mars? As we all know, Venus is the twin sister of Earth. So it is, in spite of being twin sister, is still inhabitable, and we are looking towards Mars. So there must be some cause, and that cause is presence of huge carbon dioxide. And because of the presence of huge carbon dioxide, it is so hot that it is inhabitable. So amount of carbon dioxide that is present on Venus is 95% and above. Question number 12. Chromosomes are composed of DNA. From the basic knowledge of science and biology, we know that anything which is having DNA and chromosomes and contains basic genetic material of living organism contains protein in it. So this is the basic common sense. Then question number 14. In the following simplified diagram of plant cell, 5 parts or organelles are marked. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have to identify them. Look, the outermost layer of your house is wall. Hence cell wall is number 1. Then the inner layer is this particular membrane. This is cell membrane. Comes third. If you even don't know third and fourth, then also we know this circular part of cell because it's nucleus. We all have read it. It's called nucleus. Therefore from the option we can say that 1 is cell wall, 2 is cell membrane and the 4th one is nucleus. Therefore option C is correct answer. Now moving on to question number 16. Which one of the following statements about the Shwetambar sect of Jainism is not correct? Remember, UPSC tends to confuse you from these titles. You have to look carefully in each and every question whether it is asking correct or incorrect. So not correct. First of all, Shwetambar. Shwetambar means something which is white in color. Therefore it refers to monks who wear white clothes. This is correct. It refers to monks who migrated to south of Vindhyas in 4th century BCE. Then as we have even if we have covered basic history and Jainism, then we know that the part which moved to the south was called Digambars and the one which remained in the Magad region was called Shwetambars. Therefore this option is correct and hence this is our answer because they are asking not correct. As per the cabinet resolution of 1st January 2015, the Niti Aayog consists of question number 21. So we all know that Niti Aayog is chaired by Prime Minister of India. So this one is our basic knowledge. How to move towards the answer. Now let's read other options. Governing Council comprises of Chief Ministers and all other states and Lieutenant Governors of the Union Territories. This seems rational and correct because there is Prime Minister and then there are Chief Ministers and our Governors. Then Rural Development Minister, we don't know about this. Then Chief Executive Officer to be appointed by the Prime Minister. So if there is any organization, the head only appoints the other particular employees. Therefore Chief Executive Officer to be appointed by Prime Minister is also correct. Therefore passing our knowledge to the options 1, 2 and 4. There is only one option which consists of 1, 2 and 4, and hence we got our answer even if we don't know about rural development ministers. Question number 22. The executive is given an advance grant to meet temporary and running requirements of Government of India in the beginning of the new financial year until the demands are voted by the legislature. So every time budget is passed, this particular thing comes into news. It's called vote on account. Till the time budget is passed, or to run the country which is taken from the budget. So the part of the budget which is taken as an amount is taken through vote on account. Which of the following crops is not cultivated under dry land farming? Not and dry land farming. So even if you don't know what is dry land farming, let's break up the word. Dry land, that means farming which is done in the absence of water or very less use of water. So there is only jowar, ragi, sugarcane and groundnut. Looking at the option, we see that sugarcane is a juicy crop and hence this is not the crop which can be grown on the dry land farming method. Hence our answer is sugarcane. Basic common sense again. Guys, it is proven again that UPSC tests our basic common sense. Now question number 27. Which one of the following forms of settlement develops around a lake? Lakes consist of water and water tends to take spherical shape. And major or all the lakes of the world are this circular in shape because of the water property, and hence any settlement which grows around this particular lake will be circular in shape. Therefore answer is C. Basic common sense again. Why I am so much emphasizing on this basic common sense? Because this is how we are going to solve this CDS paper, and I am going to get you above 140 marks in this paper with the basic common sense. This is how I cleared my examination or any exam IQ. How can resources be classified on the basis of their origin? Origin. For anything to begin, it should either be living or dead. That means biotic or abiotic. As simple as that. Therefore option A. Biotic or abiotic. Next question number 32. Which of the following is or are the effects of devaluation or depreciation of the currency? So devaluation or depreciation of currency means that your value of currency has decreased. Therefore what will it do? Let's quickly read the options. It leads to increase in imports and decrease in exports. Okay. Next, it leads to increase in exports and decrease in imports. So these two are just opposite. Only one of them can be correct. It leads to increase in domestic inflation. It leads to decrease in domestic inflation. These two are also opposite in their meaning. Therefore, only one can be correct. So one from there and one from here. So whenever our currency depreciates, it leads to increase in export and decrease in imports. Therefore, option number 2 is correct. There is only one option that consists of 2, and that is option number C. Therefore it leads to increase in domestic inflation too. Now question number 34. The following diagram shows pendulum and its different position. This is our pendulum. These are the extreme positions P and T, and this is the mean position. We should ignore Q and S. Now the pendulum has minimum potential energy at position P and T. Now minimum potential energy at P and T, this is wrong because at P and T there is maximum potential energy and minimum kinetic energy, whereas at the R there is minimum potential energy and maximum kinetic energy. Therefore the answer should be the pendulum has minimum potential energy at position R. This is the correct option. Question number 35. In which of the following media is the speed of sound the maximum? Now we know speed of sound is maximum in the hierarchy order of solid followed by liquid and then gases. Therefore maximum in solid, then liquid, and least in gases. Now here they are asking maximum. Here water is liquid and oxygen is there. Therefore we can simply eliminate them, and we are left with just two options. Glass and stainless steel, they both are solid. Therefore looking carefully, steel is more denser than glass, and hence maximum speed is in stainless steel. Question number 37. Which of of following is correct relationship between Celsius and Fahrenheit? We have seen this particular thing many times. Even though if we don't remember them correctly, we know that there is something 9/5 and 32, and there is only one option which consists of 9/5 and 32 both, therefore option number D. Question number 38. Which one of the following statements is correct regarding the travel of light beam from a rare to a dense medium? Now, basic light travel theory says that whenever light travels from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it tends to bend towards the normal, and also its speed decreases. Therefore, a light beam traveling from rare medium to dense medium slows down and it bends toward the normal. This is the correct option. Question number 39. Which one of the following cases do both physical and chemical changes take place? Now there are 4 particular cases, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We need to identify both physical and chemical changes taking place. Burning of candle. Burning is a chemical change, whereas melting of wax into liquid and then again solidifying into wax is a physical change. Therefore, this burning of candle is both physical and chemical change. Freezing of water is simply a physical change. Cooking of food is chemical change, whereas rusting of iron is also chemical change. Hence, our answer is option number A. Basic common sense. Question number 40. Which one of the following statement is correct about diamond and graphite? We know diamond is a stone and also the hardest material on earth naturally. Therefore, diamond is hard, and graphite is an allotrope of carbon and it's very much soft, can be cut with knife. Therefore, smooth and slippery is graphite. Option number B. Question number 41. Which one of the following substance is a compound? Air is not a compound, it's a mixture. Milk is also not a compound, it's a colloidal solution. Tea is not a compound, remains with sugar. Sugar is a compound. Question number 42. What is the total number of naturally occurring elements? We have read our periodic table so many times, class 9, 10, 11, 12, basic science. There are only 94 naturally occurring elements and 118 elements in total. Question number 43. Which one of the following statements regarding acids is not correct? Not correct. Hydrochloric acid is present in the gastric juices secreted by the stomach. This is correct. Acetic acid is the main constituent of vinegar. Vinegar contains acetic acid. This is also correct. Lemon and orange juices contain citric acid and ascorbic acid respectively. This is also correct because every sour thing contains citric or ascorbic acid. Also correct. Oxalic acid is found in tamarind paste. This is wrong because oxalic acid is found in tomatoes. Therefore, not correct. Option number C is our final answer. Moving on to question number 47. Energy and nutrients from the flow of one trophic level to another trophic level in an ecosystem. We need to describe this cycle. Energy flow is cyclic and nutrient flow is unidirectional. This is wrong because energy flow is unidirectional, that is upward pyramid, and the nutrient flow is cyclic in nature because energy tends to lose and remain only 1/10 whenever it moves from one trophic level to another. Energy flow is unidirectional and nutrient flow is cyclic. Question number 54. Where is the famous Gupta period Devgarh temple situated? So this is a location based question. As I am from Uttar Pradesh, I know this particular thing. So I have advantage of being a resident of Uttar Pradesh. Therefore, UPSC asks so many questions about location and people living around them have an edge or advantage in these or in such questions. Either person either should have read it or simply can skip them. Question number 57. Consider the following statements about the public distribution system. This is always in news. Even Government of India has made ration free for 5 consecutive years. PDS system is operated under the joint responsibility of center and state or union territories. This seems to be logical and correct. Food Corporation of India has assumed the responsibility. Always in news, FCI holds PDS. This is correct. Both center and state have joint responsibility to identify eligible beneficiaries. This is wrong. It's the state's duty to identify the eligible beneficiaries. For our answer is, leaving option number 3, we have 1, 2 and 4. Let's look at option number 4. Some states also distribute additional items to mass consumption through PDS outlets such as pulses, edible oil, etc. This is also correct. So those who belong to rural areas or rural regions must know this because there is twice in a month ration distribution. Now identify the type of soil on the basis of characteristics. We have to identify this soil. They contain a large proportion of sodium, potassium, magnesium, and thus they are infertile. Now sodium, potassium, magnesium, these are part of salts, that means saline. Option number 2, their structure ranges from sandy to loamy. Sand is found near the coastal areas, therefore saline. Third, they are more widespread in western Gujarat deltas of eastern coast and Sundarban areas of West Bengal. Gujarat, Sundarban, eastern coast, these are all around sea, and sea contains salt water, that means saline. Each and every option tells you that I am saline soil, just pick me. Such easy questions are also asked by UPSC in CDS examination. So we just have to identify the answer. It's right in front of us. It's we who cannot identify them. But if we use our common sense, we can get through the answer. So from here we see that all the questions we have done, it's the basic common sense and just previous knowledge little bit. We have come to the conclusion and our correct answer. Now moving on to question number 61. Which one of the following state capitals is closest to equator? Now, Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, Panaji, Goa, and Mumbai is our Maharashtra. Therefore, we know equator is south to India. Therefore, the southernmost location is Panaji, Goa. UPSC here wants to check our basic geolocation awareness and also capitals. Question number 62. Which is the only country in the world to officially proclaim the gross national happiness as the measure of country's progress? This was so much in news because it's Bhutan, our neighboring country, has done it, so we must know it. Even though we see Norway, Sweden, Finland, these three countries topping in all the important index of the world, still gross national happiness is launched by Bhutan, and it's the first country in the world, until the time only country in the world, which uses gross national happiness to measure the happiness of its citizens. So this is a good step. Question number 64. Which one of the following expenditures is subtracted from fiscal deficit to arrive at primary deficit? So we know that when interest payment is removed or subtracted from anything, it leads to the basic thing. Therefore, when it removes from the physical deficit, it leads us to basic or primary deficit. Question number 66. What would be the impact on the economy if the people start holding more currency in hand and less in deposit? More currency in hand means cash, whereas less in deposit means less use of banking system. So we know money multiplier is the thing which is only operational when it is used in banking system, that means digital currency. Therefore, when more in cash and less in digital currency, therefore money multiplier will decrease. Option number B. Question number 68. Other things remaining constant, the market supply of good increases if. So even if you don't know the answer and we know basic economy, we can derive the answer. Look how. What it is saying, that other thing remaining constant, market supply of good increases if. So applying the basic knowledge of economy, we can derive the answer even if you don't know it. Now let's situation number 1. Its price increases. So whenever the price of a commodity increases, its demand decreases and hence supply automatically increases. Therefore option number 1 is correct. Second, prices of its factor of production decreases. So when factor of production decreases, it will cost less and hence supply will increase. Third, prices of other goods decreases. So whenever the competitive goods in the market and their prices decreases, people tend to buy those alternate or substitute, and hence that actual product remains available in the market more in number, and hence automatically supply is increased. Therefore option 1, 2 and 3, all three are correct. Option number D is the correct or final choice. Moving on to question number 76. What does India's blue growth refers to? We know all different kind of revolutions or colored revolutions, that pink revolution, green, yellow, orange, we should know all of them. Now blue tends to refer to water or marine life. Therefore upgradation of Indian Air Force, wrong. Discouraging farmers from using, wrong. A long-term strategy to support sustainable growth in marine, this is the correct option. Simply looking at the word blue, we have come to our answer. Question number 78. Which one of the following is not a permanent member of UN Security Council? So United Nations Security Council, there are 5 permanent members, and Japan is in no way to be a part of it, because the United Nations was formed in 1945, and at the same year Japan was attacked at Hiroshima and Nagasaki by USA. Therefore it was completely shattered, its economy was shattered. It cannot be permanent member of United Nations Security Council at that time. Now question number 79. Consider the following statements about the planets in the solar system. Now Mercury has no atmosphere. This is correct, because Mercury being too small and also closest to the sun, All their gases has escaped its gravity and hence it has no atmosphere like our moon. Venus has 2 moons. This is wrong, but let us assume we don't know it. There is no land on Jupiter. This is correct. It's gaseous. Rings of Saturn are composed of lumps of ice and dust. This is also correct. Therefore, option number 2 is wrong. Now let us quickly revisit our options 1, 3 and 4. Option number D. Question number 80. Which one of the following passes is not located in Indian Himalayan regions? We all have read about Himalayas and their passes. Jojila seems familiar and heard, Himalayan. Shipkila, Himalayan. Lepulek, Himalayan. I can tell you the exact location of these places. Bolan is unheard of in this region. Therefore, this is the correct answer because they are asking not. Simple. Question number 82. Which one of the following statements about the plantation agriculture is not correct? Now let us read the option and arrive at our answer logically. Plantation farm estates are scientifically managed. This seems rational and correct. Plantation farming requires heavy capital outlay. This is also correct. Plantation farms lands have mainly foreign ownership and local labor. We don't know about it, but seems logical. Plantation farms rear the animal for sale. This is incorrect because animals have nothing to do with plantation agriculture. Therefore, option number D is the correct answer. Question number 91. The landmark Supreme Court judgment in the case Subhash Sharma vs. Union of India 1991 refers to which one of the following basics of Constitution of India? Now, 1991 is the same year when LPG reforms were there. Subhash Sharma vs. Union of India is famous for judicial review. This particular case gives Indian judiciary a new tool to make democracy and India a more vibrant democracy. Now quickly moving on to question number 90. Panchayat has always been a favorite topic of UPSC and it has a special mention in its syllabus. Now, option number 1. There is a provision for the reservation of seats for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This seems logically correct. And also, as per the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, there was special reservations for OBC, SC, ST and women in panchayats. Therefore, option 1 is correct. Panchayats are not authorized to collect taxes. Not authorized. This is not correct looking at these circumstances. And also, this is against the bottom-top approach of the governance model and against the Gandhiji's ideology of stateless society. Therefore, this is wrong. Answer is option A. Question number 91. Which one of the following statement about Mission Indradhanush launched by Government of India in 2014 is correct? Now let us quickly see all the options. It relates to the provision for child health screening and early intervention services. This seems correct. It means the diverse health needs of adolescents. This also seems correct. It aims to increase the full immunization coverage for children. This also seems correct, though this is the right answer. Its objective is to achieve universal access to equitable, affordable and quality health services. This also seems logical and correct. So sometimes UPSC tends to ask you a question and becomes very specific and gives all the options which are rationally and logically correct. And at that time, you have to have knowledge of the topic to give the answer. So this is one such topic. Question number 92. Which one of the following amendments of the Constitution of India has introduced economically weaker section society? To clear CDS examination, one must have the list of basic constitutional amendment acts at their fingertips. Now, what are they? First Constitutional Amendment Act, second, then 42nd, 44th, 73rd, 74th, and all the latest Constitutional Amendment Act from 100 till 107th. Now, EWS was 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Moving on to question number 93. Which among the following fundamental rights is not suspended when the emergency is declared? Not suspended. Now let us quickly look at the options. Protection in respect of conviction for offences. This is the correct answer. Now moving to other options. Right to constitutional remedies. Now this under Article 32 seems illogical when the emergency is applied. Now option number C. Right to move freely throughout the territory of India. You cannot think of moving freely throughout the territory of India when emergency is declared. So this is also illogical. Equality before law. This is also illogical when emergency is declared. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Question number 94. Any question pertaining to the disqualification of the member of Lok Sabha on the grounds of defection is decided by. So defection is not been in news because of the fact that our MPs and MLAs tend to change parties to remain in power. And that time defection comes in play. So when it comes to deciding things about Lok Sabha, it's the Speaker of the Lok Sabha who decides everything. Therefore, answer is Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Question number 95. Which one of the following statements about Indian Maritime University is not correct? Now let us look at the option, though we don't know it. Option number A. It was established through an act of parliament as a central university. So all the universities are established through act of central university. This is correct. It was established primarily to support Indian Navy. Primarily to support, that is way too extreme, and hence we don't know about it. It is located in Chennai. So our maritime university should be located at the coast. Chennai is the correct answer. It was established to extend the benefits of knowledge and skills for development of individuals and society by associating closely with local, regional and national issues of development. This is logically and ethically correct, and hence there is only one option left that is not correct, that is it was primarily established to support Indian Navy. This is wrong. Question number 96. Which one of the following pairs is or are correctly matched? Now, these are plateaus given here and these are continent. Abyssinian Africa, we don't know it. Patagonian. Now we all have heard the Pentagon word and we know it is located in USA. Therefore, this option is wrong and hence also North America is wrong. We are only left with two options, that is Anatolia, which is Asia. Now this option, Anatolia, is lot been in news because of the Russia-Ukraine war. Therefore, this is correct and hence option number B. Now quickly moving to question number 97. Which one of the following pairs of isoline and its properties are correctly matched? Now isonif, snowball, we don't know it. Okay. Isohel, sunshine. Now heliocentric things means related to solar system and sun is a part of solar system. Therefore, this is correct. Isohaline, haline comes from the word saline and that means salty. This is also correct. Isohypse, cloudiness, we don't know it. Now we have to simply look at the options and see where it fits. Option number 2 and 3 in A and 2 and 3 is also given in B. Now we have successfully removed option number C and D. Hence we are at 50-50. Now we have to just take a calculated guess and we will reach to our answer. Now NIF here means snow. Therefore option A is correct answer. Now quickly moving to question number 107. Which butterfly species was recently named the official butterfly of Jammu and Kashmir? Now this was a lot in news. And in Kashmiri language, we call Panchi as Pansi. Therefore, answer is blue Pansi. Question number 108. Which company operated the ill-fated Titan submersible which was recently imploded, killing all the 5 passengers? Now, this was also a lot in news, discussed worldwide because some very rich businessmen died here. They went to see the wreckage of Titanic ship in North Atlantic Ocean. Now, you have to answer me which particular company operated the ship. Question number 109. Which among the following is India's longest road tunnel? So Atal Tunnel is lot in news in these days. So UPSC here tends to confuse you because you simply will pick up Atal Tunnel because it is lot in news. But the answer is Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee Tunnel. So such questions are also asked by UPSC because we see that UPSC tends to ask, because there is this myth that UPSC tends to ask what is in news. But sometimes it tends to ask what is in news but not the current thing but the static part of it. Now quickly moving to question number 112. From which one of the following countries has India procured S-400 Triumph air defense missile system? Now this is a lot in news for last 4 to 5 years and USA also warned India that it will impose sanctions of India if it buys S-400 from Russia. So answer is Russia. Question number 113. Abhinav Bindra is the winner of first ever individual Olympic gold medal for India. He won gold in which shooting event and in which Olympic games? Now, we have all seen Abhinav Bindra holding rifle in a lot of photos, and in one hand he is holding his rifle and in other hand he is holding his gold medal. Now, therefore pistol option is eliminated, left with 2 options, and it was in China, therefore 10-meter air rifle, Beijing. Question number 114. Cheetahs were recently reintroduced to India from Africa. From which language is the name cheetah derived? We all know that cheetah is similar to Hindi word, therefore Africans and Somali, which is a country in Africa, Somalia, they both are eliminated. Swahili, we don't know it, left with Sanskrit word. So cheetah is derived from Sanskrit word, hence we got our answer with little bit of logic. Now last question, question number 120. which one of the following correctly represents the theme of the interiors of the new parliament building? So this was also part of news, and live inauguration of new parliament building was there in almost all the news channels of the country, and PM Modi inaugurated it. So in Lok Sabha it was peacock, and in Rajya Sabha it was lotus shape. Here look at this, aspirants. We have successfully answered 53 questions out of 120 just using our basic little knowledge and lot of common sense and logical thinking. Therefore, I hope that you have studied well, and hence you will be able to solve another 20 questions from your subject knowledge and your current affairs, and hence you will get close to 73 to 75 questions. That means 140 plus marks in CDS examination. This is what toppers get, guys. So just applying your common sense and not getting into press, use code 140 plus marks in UPSC. This is how it is done. So if you enjoy the video, please like, share and comment on the video. Do subscribe it. It helps us a lot and also motivate us to bring such videos to you which helps you crack your dream examination. Thank you guys and all the best. There is not much time left. Keep working hard. Till the time, see you then.